And I get, it's am I allowed to swear on here?
Not for him.
Yeah, I get a lot, it's a female bastard, and I'm like, look it up.
Everyone, I'm Alex Alicia. Tonight I am joined by new wave of classic rock sensation, Bastette. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. What kind of things have you been up to during this time? Because obviously, for a musician, I can imagine lockdown is quite a pain in the butt.
Yes. Well, initially there was like a 6-week period where I went into meltdown, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do? But I suppose you've just got to make the best of a bad situation, and I started doing acoustic live streams and used my time writing and practicing, and in a lot of ways lockdown's actually been pretty good for me, for pushing me out my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Making me do things that I would not have done had I not been kind of, there is no other option. You either stop or you get on with it and do what you can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually been quite a good experience in some respects.
Yeah, that's a positive as well. I mean, a lot of people are saying that they're not be able to get up to very much. So I guess you're thriving in this time. So that's good.
Yeah.
For anybody that hasn't yet heard of Bastette, how would you describe you and your music and everything like that? Maybe in 5 words.
5 words. Passionate.
Yeah.
Real. Fiery. Dramatic. Fabulous.
Wow. There we go. Talking about you, or you're talking about your music?
Both really. I think a lot of the music that I write it from real situations. Okay, it's dramatized, because a lot of songs are. It's not completely like this situation happened, but I think a lot of songs are written from real experiences, and I am quite a flamboyant character, and I think that comes through in the music.
And obviously, you just touched on your writing process. In terms of the actual process, how do you go about creating your music?
Usually, well, I suppose it depends on the song, but usually I'll get the lyrics first,
Yeah.
and then I kind of look at melodies.
Yeah.
So I play piano, like that's one of my main instruments, and I sing. So I look at it from that point of view, but I actually write on the guitar.
Yeah.
So my skills might not be as good, but I'll be coming up with melodies, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Now I just need to get a guitarist who can play it a bit better.
And of course, you have said online with Bastette that obviously you're pop rock, that's your sound. You are in the new wave of classic rock field. So,
Yeah.
In terms of the pop element, is that something that you intended to do? Or have you just naturally ended up being a little bit pop rock, because you have admitted that your influences are Florence and the Machine, Lady Gaga, and Hailstorm, and bands like that, and artists like that?
No, it was deliberate.
Yeah.
At first, I wasn't sure how kind of well it would go down with the new wave of classic rock kind of scene.
Yeah.
I started off in a band a few years ago, and we were quite like heavy rock, but I've always been influenced by pop music. Like I grew up listening to Shania Twain and ABBA and stuff like that, and then when I was about 12 I raided my dad's CD collection and found Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith, and
Yeah.
so it is a big mix of stuff, and I love Lady Gaga. So when you listen to Hunter, I went and I was like, right, I want kind of Lady Gaga synthy stuff in there, but give me a crunchy kind of guitar part as well, driving over the top of it. So that's what we got with that song. I think it's good to mix. It's good to mix things and take things from different genres and different artists, and you can create something hopefully good.
Oh, I think it is good to have a good mix and different influences and stuff, and I think that definitely comes across in your music. With your current lineup at the moment, I mean, you did mention to me that it's fairly new. Bastette started out as your stage name, didn't it? So can you talk me through a little bit about the changeover between it being you as essentially a solo artist to having a bit of a band behind you now and other musicians?
Yeah, well, I started off and I just released the tracks. I recorded them with a guitarist and I released them as Bastette, and I came to it and I was like, right, well, I want to get gigging. So I actually had some really, really good musicians, but they were in to kind of help me out. So I had Jill Bethwaite, who's in the Sex Pistols, and Chris Hunt, and they were great for kind of getting me off the ground, but they have different projects. So they want to focus on that, which I totally get. And it came down to trying to find the right musicians who were interested enough to kind of become part of the team, not just turn up and rehearse. And I mean, last year we had a number of gigs where it was like somebody couldn't do a gig, so I'd be trying to drag a drummer in and we'd have one rehearsal and then do a gig, and yes, okay, we managed to pull it off, but I was like, this is not how we want to go from now on. We want set musicians, and I want it to be more of a team and somebody to bounce off as well. It's great to be able to write with somebody and have people with you who want to build it as much as I do. So,
and of course, that's going to help contribute more musical influences as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The musicians behind you at the moment are going to have their own influences, so you can do a bit of a mush, I think.
Yeah.
With Bastette, that's a very different name. Where does it derive from?
Bastette is an Egyptian goddess. It's a different spelling, but Bastette is an Egyptian cat goddess. So
would you say that's some kind of thing of yours? Do you like all that kind of stuff, or did it seem fitting? Or
well, it did. I think I needed something that stood out, that made people, and I thought, well, they're either going to love it or they're going to hate it, but they're going to have an opinion on it. So and I get, it's am I allowed to swear on here?
Not for him.
Yeah. I get a lot. Oh, it's a female bastard, and I'm like, look it up. It is not. But if you want to think that, fine. I've got a problem with that. But yeah, it was something a little bit different, and also I am a bit of I love cats, and I also thought it's fabulous. So
very fitting. Recently did a gig, didn't you? Just the weekend just gone with Kira Mack.
Yeah.
How did that go? And you played some of your new music as well, didn't you? So
yeah,
fun.
It was really good. It was a strange gig because it was so, well, there wasn't many people there, from a sense of you can't get many people in the venue. Yeah. So but everybody there was there for the music, and we did I did a gig at the Waterloo in Blackpool as well, and again, it's so strange, the venue isn't full, but the people that are there, they just want to listen to the music. They are so into it. So from that point of view, it was brilliant, and I quite liked the relaxed feeling of being able to play some new songs to fans who haven't. Well, they get to hear it first, don't they? They've made the effort to come out to a socially distanced gig, and it was a very relaxed kind of environment, really nice, yeah. And Kira's great as well.
Yeah. You mentioned as well that you did the gig with Empire and Anchor Lane, wasn't it?
Yes.
did it acoustically there as well, didn't you? So
Yeah, I did.
Your videos and stuff. Is that
Yeah.
just you decided to do it that way, or is it just a case of, like you say, you've not done any rehearsing at the moment for the full?
No, well, my manager rang me and she was like, "We're looking for acoustic. Will you do it? I think you should do it." And I was like, "Why not? Why not?" So, yeah, I just went up, and I was a bit because I was first on acoustic on my own with bands following me that are awesome bands following me. I was a little bit, I don't know how well it's going to go down, but everybody was really paying attention, really into it, and I got a really good review as well, so that's great.
Reading that, how does that feel? Because you've had a lot of good feedback so far, haven't you, from live performances and from your music, you know, just hearing it in itself. How is that for you, you know, to have those kind of responses at the moment?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's really good.
You have also put online that you've got a new release coming out very soon. I know you can't talk about dates or anything like that, but is there anything that you can tell us, any secrets that you can give away about your new music?
This new song is a little bit different. Different influences. It's fun. It's fun, is what I will say. Yeah, it's fun. So I'm excited to hear what people think.
And you've also got a new EP coming out in spring next year, haven't you?
That's the plan.
that's the thing at the moment. Who can give any kind of plan? But have you already started working on that? Is it, cause obviously I'm assuming, like you say, it's not set in stone just yet.
Yeah.
But throughout this time, have you been working on the new music?
Yeah, well, I'm actually down in Worcester with Dave Draper, who did the Wild Hearts, and I'm doing a new track with him next month. So that will be on the new EP. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I was checking out your YouTube as well, and you've got a lot of really professional videos, and they're always really well put together. In terms of you and your creative process, are you really hands-on with the creative side, you know, the visual side of your music as well? And where do your ideas come from for the videos? Yeah,
I am very, very hands-on to the point where they're going, "Oh God, she wants to change this. Oh God, she doesn't like this," and I'm like, "It's got to be perfect." But yeah, where do the ideas come from? Sometimes it is specifically to do with what the song's about. Sometimes it's just you want something like a really cool vibe, or I'm like, "I've got this idea and we want to shoot it in this bar." And other times you look at other people and you go, "I really like that idea. How can I use it in a sense and make it mine?"
Yeah, of course. And obviously that's where the influence comes in as well, isn't it? Not just musically, but visually as well.
Yeah.
I do definitely get the Lady Gaga vibe as well in a really good way. I love her myself. So I was really like loving the new music when I was listening to it. I was like, ooh, my vibe. It's no secret that you are a BIMM Manchester graduate.
Yes.
You're obviously a northern lass like me as well. I'm from Barnsley. Growing up in around Manchester and being in a music college, because for people who don't know what BIMM is, it's obviously a university/college for music.
Yeah.
How much of an impact have your surroundings recently had on your achievements so far?
Well, I graduated in 2017, and I've got to say, I hadn't found myself at that point.
Yeah.
So I went to uni and started off doing like rock, but quite heavy. And I had a band that weren't driven. And I then had to back off and I started doing acoustic stuff. I've even done, I've gone through different kind of styles. And it's only recently that I am kind of finding myself, and even you look back at Fault Line, the first release, that's got quite a bit of country in it, and I do love country. But I think that the new stuff that you're going to hear over the next year is definitely a development, and I'm finding my sound, which is really good.
I'm excited to hear it. Obviously, you have got some gigs coming up, haven't you, very, very soon with Massive Wagons?
Yes, fingers crossed.
I know, I was going to say, hopefully, if it goes ahead.
Yeah.
Are you excited to be playing again? Because you're seeming to really be able to do the gigs at the moment, which is really rare. So
Yeah, God, yeah, I cannot wait. Like, it is playing acoustic is great, but playing with a band is like no other feeling in the world.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to just get on stage and be able to kind of let loose a little bit as well. I mean, I've spoke to some people who are like, well, we don't know how we should perform because the audience is all sat down and they can't get into it in the same way and they can't dance. And I just kind of think they're there for a show. Give them a show. That's what they want, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, you would think so if they went to a gig.
There'd be no alterations for you. You're just going to put on your show, and I think that's great. You know, I know a couple of things because I spoke to a couple of other bands this week, and they were saying that the no interaction between the audience and the front person is quite awkward. I can imagine that's not going to be great, but you're still going to go for it anyway, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't see any other way, really. The people that are there are proper music fans and they want to be entertained, so give the people what they want.
Yeah. In terms of Bastette, where do you see yourself or hope to see yourself in the near future? Have you got some things that you're working towards or aspiring to do?
Well, next year we'd be looking to book a few tours with other bands, but at the moment everything is so uncertain that just nothing's getting planned far in advance. And I mean, I've seen bands rearrange the tours like 3 times this past year, and it's just heartbreaking, isn't it? And so disheartening when you've put all that effort into it to then have to rearrange and God knows when it's gonna come back to normality. You've just got to make the most of it and do what you can do, really.
I know, it's such crazy times, isn't it? Like I said, I can't imagine anything worse than trying to do music and be a musician, you know, during like lockdown and the pub closures, you know, early and things like that. Yeah. Chaos. This is a little bit random, but I do like to ask people this one, and I always put everyone on the spot, so I apologise.
Oh God.
Do you have a motto, a saying, or a quote that you like to live your life by?
Recently, one of my best friends was talking to me about getting rid of negative people out of your life, and there was an incident, and I rang him up and I was like, Callum, I can't deal. And he was like, Queen, you do not need any bad karma or negative energy in your aura. This is what we are going to do. We're going to get rid of all that, get it out. And I just thought that is brilliant. Anything that kind of drags you down, take it away. Yeah. You don't need it, do you? You want positive, uplifting people and situations in your life. And I think that is so important. There is no point in being near anything that can drag you down. You need to be around positive people.
Vibes only.
yeah, good vibes only, yeah.
And finally, have you got a message that you'd like to send out to Bastette fans, lovers, followers of your music? Have you got anything that you'd like to say to them, and anything that you need to let them know?
Just thank you so much for all the support that I've had throughout lockdown and from the beginning. I have quite a good little community of fans that follow me, and it's really great. And please keep sharing and spreading the word, because I couldn't do it without them. Couldn't do it without you. So, yeah.
That's lovely. Well, best of luck with the shows that hopefully are going to happen with Massive Wagons on the 10th of October. And best of luck, I saw that you got SOS Festival next year as well. And everything that you got going on, and your new release, and the new EP. Look at you, you got so much stuff at the moment. It's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was absolutely
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
See you later. Right,
Bye.
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 The 7